Dear Joe, I was so bored the first time I visited Boston that I never wanted to go back. But I gave it a second chance and explored the city for a day. And I think I might have been too quick to judge it because it changed my mind. I was wrong about Boston. The major difference with the first time and now is the weather. This time around, the weather was perfect. The sun was shining, there were hardly any clouds in the sky, and the temperature was warm, which is the best weather for walking around. Everything was buzzing with life. I like to be a tourist everywhere I go, which means walking a lot more and also stopping and staring at a lot of things. I think it's because I want to remember everything that's happening, so I become fully present in the moment. That also allows me to learn new things as well, and I definitely learned something new on this trip, which I'll certainly tell you all about later. First, the city seemed like any other city, mainly because I was still skeptical since my first time wasn't all that. But since everything felt different, I started to see it differently. Boston is a college town. Both Harvard and Boston University take over majority of the city. Honestly, I didn't know that Harvard was in Boston. I always thought it was somewhere else very far and remote. I guess you don't really know these things unless it's your dream college. What I did love about the city though is that you can walk everywhere. It's a very old city, so some of the houses and buildings still look like a gem out of time. Speaking of a gem, the park was the biggest surprise because it completely transformed from a dry-looking regular park that everybody ignores to the belle of the ball. The ducks were out and the swans were out. The pond that was completely dry a few months ago was filled and very active. Of course, I had to be the ultimate tourist and go on the swan boat because this wasn't even an option the first time I came here. The line wasn't super long and the ride was actually very affordable. Apparently it's been in operation since the 1800s, so it's definitely something that lasted generations, and I see why. It felt like I was in a fairy tale with blossoming trees and singing birds adding to the enchanted atmosphere. I just had to tell my brain to ignore the other people on the boat and all the onlookers who were just staring. Yeah, the perfect fairy tale. Is it just me, or is drinking water throughout the day really hard to do, especially when you forgot your water bottle and you're also in a new environment? This was the biggest Asian market I've ever seen. They had everything. This literally was the prime example of judging a book by its cover and being completely wrong. I honestly feel like first impressions shouldn't carry as much weight as they do, because most things take time to show you their beauty. And if you only give them one chance to get it right, then you may miss out on some breathtaking moments in life. That's what I really learned on this trip. I learned that it's okay to try something more than once, even if the first time sucked. The first time, you may not have been mentally prepared for that experience, but the second time, the conditions might align better. You could be in a better mood, or you may be more open to having that experience. Boston taught me that it's okay to change your mind, because things are always changing and we're always changing. So go ahead and retry some of those things that you didn't really like the first time around. You never know. You might just realize, like I did, that you may have been wrong and you can't wait to do it again. Love, Jody.